Stephen, we've talked a little bit over the last few months about some of the stuff that's going on over in Western Digital, and this saga has reached a new phase because the company has announced that they will split their flash memory business out from their hard drive division. This follows news last week that shareholder SK Hynix has halted a proposed merger with the business of Japan's Kioxia. The pressure to make this move came from everyone's favorite activist investor, Elliott Management, who, of course, sings the song of unlocking greater shareholder value. What does this mean for the storage giant splitting these two divisions apart, Stephen?
Yeah, this story is extremely confusing, especially when you think about, wait, didn't I just see a story that said that they're not going to do something with the flash memory business? I can understand it. But overall, as you say, it's about unlocking greater shareholder value. We're done here, right? Now it actually is about unlocking greater shareholder value. Basically, if you look at Western Digital's share price, it's priced as if it didn't have a flash memory business, if it was only a storage or hard disk drive business. And well, that's bad for Western Digital and for Western Digital investors. I don't want to give Elliott too much credit, but they're right about that. Essentially, what happened is Western Digital, you may remember, a few years back, Western Digital bought SanDisk. And along with that acquisition back in 2015, Western Digital got a joint venture with Toshiba to make NAND flash. Because, remember, that's what SanDisk was. So Toshiba then spun that business off into Kioxia in 2017. SK Hynix was also involved in that. What happened last week is that SK revealed during an earnings call that they just were not interested in merging with Kioxia, which would have basically taken care of Western Digital's flash problem. And so as soon as they announced that, the Western Digital and no doubt the Elliott Capital folks announced, well, guess what? We're going to split these companies. Now, this is not an acquisition. It's more like one of those kind of fancy business spinouts that you hear about, where basically a company takes part of itself and IPOs that part or spins it out in some way. That's pretty much what's going to happen here. So as soon as they complete this, which should happen, somewhere around the middle of next year, Western Digital will be the name of a hard disk maker, and something else will be the name of a flash memory maker. Now, they'll have corporate ties still, and they'll still have cross investments and so on. But basically, that new flash thing, which is a joint venture with Kioxia, will have its own listing and have its own products and basically float, kind of like Solidigm did with Intel and SK Hynix. So you can kind of imagine that future company will be sort of another Solidigm. And just like Solidigm, it'll probably make good flash products and be out there in the market and stuff and probably make a bunch of money, and everybody will smile at unlocking this shareholder value. Now, I do have one thing to say about this merger, though. And I know that all of the management of Western Digital watches our show on a daily basis. So I'm just going to say to you right now, that company, you should call it SanDisk. We'll leave it at that.